Yes, sir. Peace. Another day, another time. Another bringing forth of knowledge and topic of the scriptures and the things that are important for us to know in the Bible. So we're going to dive straight up into this. Uh, we're going to dive straight up into this as much as we can. Okay. So today's topic, I'm going to deal with the Arabs and the concept of Islam. And we're going to go to the Bible, the Arabs and the concept of Islam, and Muslims and Muhammad and this madness, which is one of the great religions of the world, which is very, very important to the Bible. So here you have Time Life, the world's great religions. Okay, Time Life, the world's great religions. And I'm going to deal, coming out of the Bible. Now, I'm not going to deal with the Quran as of yet and show you what is in this book. Okay, I'm not going to deal with this. But you must understand this to the concept as to what they're talking about, who they are, where they come from, who's their father, in that. Okay, and what does it have to do with the Bible? What does it have to do with the Bible? Because if you don't know these things and understand these things, then how can you understand if you don't understand the past? Okay, and you don't understand the creator of these things. Okay, who's the creator of these things? The Lord created these things. He allowed them to exist. When he was alone, he thought all these things out by himself. Okay, who they are, what they were going to do. Let's go and prove that. Let's go into the Apocrypha, right? Let's go into the Apocrypha, 2nd Ezra, the 6th chapter, and let's look at that. 2nd Ezra, the 6th chapter. He said, and he said unto me, he was speaking to Ezra, and he said, in the beginning, when the earth was made, before the borders of the world stood, or ever the winds blew, before it thundered and lightninged, and listened, or lightninged, or ever the foundations of paradise were laid, before the fair flowers were seen, or ever the movable powers were established, before the manageable multitudes of angels were gathered together. So he's saying, before creation even came into existence, he was alone. But what happened? Or ever the heights of the air were lifted up, before the measures of the firmament of Zion was named, or even the chimneys in Zion were hot. And ere the present years were sought out, or ever the inventions of them that now sinned are turned, before they were sealed that have gathered faith for a treasure, then did I consider these things. He considered everything. Everything. So what we're about to talk about now and expound upon, he already thought about it, which is the Arabs. Okay? We're going to show you who the Arabs is, where they come from, leading all the way up into Muhammad. Then did I consider these things, and they were all made through me alone, and through none other. So the Lord allowed what you're about to read about to exist. Okay? But the reason why we don't consider these things is because we are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. Okay? We think that the Arab people or the Muslim people is our friends. Okay, so let's go into Hosea 4 and 6. My people are destroyed. Who's the people of the Lord? Israel. Okay? Who's the people of the Lord? Israel. My people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. See that? Now, because thou hast rejected knowledge, now who is knowledge? See that? We rejected knowledge. Now, who is knowledge? For you to understand exactly who is knowledge, all you have to do is go to the book of Samuel, right? Go directly to 1 Samuel, the 2nd chapter and the 3rd verse. Look what he says. Talk no more exceedingly proudly. Let not arrogancy come out of thy mouth, for the Lord is a God of knowledge. So we rejected knowledge. Hosea 4 and 6. My people are destroyed. So now, where are we now? We are destroyed. Why? Because we rejected knowledge, and the Lord is knowledge. I will also reject thee. See that? So this is why we're in the condition that we're in. That thou shalt be no more priest to me, seeing that we have forgotten the law of the Lord. I will also forget your children. Okay? So now you understand that the Lord is the Lord of knowledge. So we need knowledge of the past. See that? We need knowledge of the past, what happened in the past, to lead up into the world's great religions in Time Life magazine, right? And what is it that we're going to study exactly? We're going to break down this guy right here. We're going to break down this guy right here. Just so you can see. The world of Islam. We're going to break this down. We're going to get into this. Okay? But for you to get into this, you got to go into the Bible. You got to go into the Bible. Why is it that you got to go into the Bible? Let's go into the book of, let's see why you got to go into the Bible. Let's go into the Gospel of John. John 14, verse 26. But when the Comforter, which is the Holy Spirit, whom the Father will send in my name, he will teach you all things. So the Bible is going to teach you what? All things. And bring all things to your remembrance, whatsoever I have said unto you. See that? Now, why do you need that? Why do you need that? Let's go into the gospel. Let's go into Romans. Let's go into the book of Romans, right? Romans, the 10th chapter and the first verse. Brethren, my heart's desire and prayer to the Lord for Israel is, see that? Paul is talking to Israel. Okay? Paul is not talking to everybody. My heart's desire and prayer for Israel is that they might be saved. For I bear them record that they have a zeal of the Lord, but not according to knowledge. So you run around with the Arabs and you think the Arabs in Saudi Arabia and Islam, some of you you read the Quran. Some of you read the Quran. Okay? Some of you read the Quran and somehow you think this has something to do with the Lord. It doesn't have anything to do with the Lord, people. Nothing. Nothing. Because the Lord never gave them his word. The Lord never gave the Arabs his word. Okay? Let's prove that. Let's go to Psalms 147, 19 and 20. Let's go in the book of Psalms. Just follow along. Psalms 147, 19 and 20. He showed his word unto Jacob. Jacob is the father of the nation of Israel. His statutes and his judgments unto Israel. And he has not dealt so with any nation. So when the Arabs jumped up under Muhammad and said that the Lord gave them the Quran, they made the Lord a liar. Okay? They made the Lord a liar. But where did they get this book from? From the devil. Where did they get this book from? From the devil. Because look what it says in Psalms 147. He has not dealt so with any nation. So the Arabs is a nation. But where did they come from? They came from Ishmael. Okay? Ishmael is the father of the Arabs. The word sword comes from the family that took over the Arabs, which is now the house of sword. And they have not dealt so with any nation. Praise ye the Lord. Okay? So when you don't understand what's going down in history, then you're destined to repeat the same mistakes. Every nation is not down with you. Every nation is not down with you. Okay? Let's go into the book of running things through my mind. Let's go up into, let's pick it up here. Okay, let's go to the Arabs. All right, who's the father of the Arabs? Okay, so for you to understand why the Lord said, for my people are destroyed in Romans, for that you go about seeking your own judgment in your own ways in Romans, right? Let's come back to Romans. Romans 10. Romans 10 verse 1. He says, brethren, my heart's desire and prayer to the Lord for Israel is that they might be saved. For I bear them record that they have a zeal of the Lord. So with the zeal of the Lord, you go into all these things. And you think that this has something to do with the Lord. No, it doesn't. Okay? So what is the history of this book? Where did this come from that they're trying to mate these records? Who are these people? Let us go now into the world's great religions. Okay, now I'm going to give you a little excerpts from out of the world's great religions so you can have a clear historical background. But why should you do that? Why should you go back for you to understand what is going on right now? Why should you go backwards? Okay, let's go in the book of Job to see why you should go backwards. Let's go in the book of Job. For everything, there's a beginning. There is a Genesis, okay? So let's see what the Lord says. Job 8, verse 8. For inquire, I pray thee, of the former age. What is the former age? The past. And prepare thyself to the search of their fathers. You got to go into the past. Okay, everything about the Bible is the past. Telling you what is happening right now and what is coming down in the future. For we are but of yesterday, and know nothing, because our days upon the earth are a shadow. See, so everything is about the past. Why are we in this condition? Because what happened in the past. Who are you today is what you was yesterday. So we got to go into the past to find out about this group called Arabs, the concept of Muslims and Islam. So now we must go and get knowledge and study history. Okay? We must go and get knowledge and study history. So we go, no, nobody in there. So we going into the world of Islam from the world's great religions. Now, this is Life Magazine, and they bring a concise breakdown of the different religions. Oh, where do religions come from? Are there religions in the Bible? Okay, there is no religions in the Bible. All these things come from the devil. Okay, so if you go to Revelation 12, verse 9, it clearly tells you who deceived the entire world and people and philosophies, that people brought forth philosophies and theories which are in opposition to the word of the Lord. Okay, all religions and philosophies and theories are in opposition, but they have a beginning in people. So now let's go into Islam. So right now I gave you some verses, and now I'm going to give you the history of this. Islam, the youngest of man's universal religion, is also in many ways the simplest and most explicit. It venerates a single all-powerful God. Its founder, Muhammad, okay? Now, who's Muhammad a descendant of? For you to understand who Muhammad is a descendant of, you have to go back to the Bible now. See that? Muhammad is an Arab. But who are the father of the Arabs? You got to go back to Genesis now. See? You got to go backwards. And if you don't know this, how then can you understand? Genesis, the 16th chapter, right? Genesis, the 16th chapter, and let's see what it says. For you to understand the founding, because Genesis breaks all this down. Now Sarah, Abraham's wife, a black man and a black woman, Father Abraham, bare him no children, and she had an handmaid, an Egyptian. Now the Egyptians were black people, whose name was Hagar. And Sarah said unto Abraham, behold, now the Lord have restrained me from bearing. I pray thee, go in unto my maid, that it may be that I might obtain children through her. And Abraham hearkened unto the voice of Sarah. And Sarah, Abraham's wife, took Hagar, her handmaid, the Egyptian, after Abraham had dwelt 10 years in the land of Canaan, and gave it to her husband Abraham to be his wife. That ain't happening today. That ain't happening today. Women are so selfish today. It's amazing. but yet they say that they believe in the word of God. They don't believe in the word of God. They pick and choose what they want for how they want, dealing on the woman, just like the men pick and choose. Okay? And she went in unto Hagar, and she conceived. And when she saw that she had conceived, her mistress was despised in her eyes. So she got upset because now Hagar was trying to make herself bigger than Sarah. Okay? But she was her ruler, in essence. And Sarah said unto Abraham, my wrong be upon thee. I have given my maid into thy bosom. And when she saw she had conceived, I was despised in her eyes. The Lord judge between me and thee. But Abraham said unto Sarah, behold, thy maid is in thy hand. Do to her as it pleaseth thee. And when Sarah dealt hardly with her, she fled from her face. And the angel of the Lord found her, Hagar, by a fountain of water in the wilderness, but the fountain in the way to Shur. And he said, Hagar, Sarah's maid, whence comest thou, and whither wilt thou go? And she said, I will flee from the face of my mistress Sarah. And the angel of the Lord said unto her, return to thy mistress, and submit thyself under her hands. And the angel of the Lord said unto her, I will multiply thy seed exceedingly, and it shall not be numbered for a multitude. Now, this child is getting a blessing, okay? That blessing is going to become a prophecy, destiny. These are how, in the Bible, men bringing forth nations, and the nations is going to fulfill the prophecies that is their destiny laid upon them by the Lord. And the angel of the Lord said unto her, behold, thou art with child, and shalt bear a son, and shall call his name Ishmael, because the Lord have heard thy affliction. So the word Ishmael means affliction heard. Okay? Ishmael. Here we go. And he shall be a wild man. So these people have a wild nature. These Arabs. Okay, now, be clear. Every person that ascribes to the concept and belief of Islam is not an Arab. There are many people of different nations that believe in a philosophy of Islam. Okay, just like you have black Americans over here that believe in the concept of the Nation of Islam, but they're not Arabs. Just like you have Chinese that believe in the concept of Islam, but they're not Chinese. I mean, they're not Arabs. Just like you have people in, you have white people that believe in Islam, but they're not Arabs. So I'm making a clarity. One is a philosophy. Now, the word Muslim is just one that submits to the will of God. Two different words. But the nation and the concept of Arabs is a different thing altogether. But he shall be a wild man. His hand shall be against everyone. So in their belief, where's their belief coming from? Their belief is coming from the Quran. Now I'm going to break this book down in another class and show you that they say anyone that does not believe in Allah is an infidel, and all infidels should be killed. All infidels, okay? So this is why they were wild, and that's why they swept out all throughout the world after Muhammad died, and we're going to get into that. And he shall dwell in the presence of his brethren. Now, did the Lord make him greater? Did the Lord make any covenants with him? Let's go directly, and then I'm going to come back to the history, okay? Let's go to Genesis, the 17th chapter. So any person that's telling you that the Lord made a covenant with the Arabs and with Ishmael and with Muhammad is a liar, okay? Any person telling you that is a liar. Let's go to Genesis, the 17th chapter. Then Abraham, 17th chapter, 17 verse. Then Abraham fell upon his face and laughed and said in his heart, shall a child be born unto him that is 100 years old? And shall Sarah that is 90 years old bear? And Abraham said unto the Lord, oh, that Ishmael might live before me. And the Lord said, Sarah thy wife shall bear thee a son indeed, and thou shalt call his name Isaac. Listen well, what is a covenant? A covenant is a pact, okay? Was there a pact made with the Arabs through Ishmael? Let's see. The Bible is truth. So they came and they lied with the Quran. Okay? Thou shalt call his name Isaac, and I will establish my covenant with him for an everlasting covenant, and with his seed after him. And as for Ishmael, now wait a minute, what about the father of the Arabs now? As for Ishmael, I have heard thee. Behold, I have blessed him, and will make him fruitful, and multiply him exceedingly. 12 princes, 12 sons shall he beget, and I will make him a great nation. But my covenant will I establish with Isaac, which Sarah shall bear unto thee at this set time next year. So no covenants was made with them, made with their father, nor with them. They were given land, they were given wealth, they were going to be multiplied. Okay, so there we just gave you biblical, and then it gets even deeper. We just gave you biblical, right? So we're going to put the Bible aside, and now we're going to come up in time to Muhammad now. So Muhammad now is a great descendant of Ishmael. Okay, so now you should be tying up the pieces. Let's break it down. Okay. So I'm going to try to read through this page, and this is going to give you great understanding as to what happened that's leading up into today. And it goes even deeper than that, right? Check this out. It says, Islam came into being in the full light of history and spread with hurricane speed. Within a few years of Muhammad's death in 632 AD, it had overwhelmed the entire Middle East. And within another century, its dominions extended from Gibraltar to the Himalayas. Now, when you hear the word Moors, the Moors is not black people. The Moors is the Arabs. They're the ones that took over Spain. There's cats out here teaching that the Moors is the Israelites. No, they're not. The Arabs is the Arabs, and they're the ones that was called the Moors. And I got historical proof to prove that, but I'm going to move on. Okay? Today, its adherents, 300 million strong, encompass nearly 1/7 of the total population of the earth. The reasons for Islam's huge success lie entangled in the web of history. See, so if you're not willing to study, how are you going to know what you're dealing with? In the chaos of the Mediterranean world and in the zeal and martial skill of the Arab armies. Now, people say Islam is a peaceful religion. You're a damn liar. You're a damn liar. What did it say? The zeal and martial skill of the Arab army. See, there's no house of sword yet. It's Arabs. Or in the Bible, they were first called Ishmaelites. Okay? And then later on, they became Arabs. But a continued strength and durability derived from the nature of its appeal. Simple, lucid, and affirmative, which have been preserved the unity of Islam through 1,300 years. For Islam is more than a formal religion. It is an all-pervasive way of life, guiding through the action to a degree without parallel in the Western world. A key to its power lies in the word Islam, which means submission to the will of God. Now, if you understand the word Islam, anyone who submits to the will of God can be of Islam, right? The word Muslim is derived from the same word, means one who submits, okay? So if you submit, you can apply that word to you because you submit to the will of God. You're a Muslim. But it's coming from the Arabs, okay? I want everybody to see that. It's coming from the Arabs. So you hear these words being bandied about a lot, right? Every true Muslim, therefore, lives face to face, right? Another bulwark of Islam's strengths is the assurance that the utterance of Muhammad is preserved in the Quran. See that? Here we go. We back to this book again. It's preserved in the Quran. But we just read that the Lord never dealt with them and the Lord never gave them his word. Psalms 147, 19 and 20. Now I'm going to do a whole context destroying this philosophy as a book of lies. Watch. As preserved in the Quran and other less sacred writings, represent the final and absolute expression of the will of God. See that? Here they go lying again. To the Muslims, they supersede, the Quran supersedes all previous revelations and confirms the truth of the Old and New Testaments. But yet in here, there is no Genesis, there is no middle, and there is no end. Okay? This is what they're talking about. So when you go into this book of crap, okay, where's the front of it at? There is no Genesis. The first chapter is called the Book of Cows. How's that a Genesis? How's that a beginning? Okay? And confirm the truths of the Old and New Testament. The God of Islam, Allah. Now, if you understand the word Allah, it is an acronym for arms, head, and legs. 2 legs, 2 arms, and a head. When I was in the 5% of garbage and so forth like that, and the concept of the Nation of Islam, that's all Allah means. 2 arms, AA, 2 legs, and a head for the concept, okay? Is basically the God of Judaism and Christianity. Hold on. See, I'm giving you from time. These scholars went and studied these religions and compounded a bunch of them to the best, okay? But in Muslim eyes, his words was incompletely expressed in the earlier scriptures and fulfilled only in the Quran. So they're saying, well, hold on. This is what they're saying. Hold on. This book is wrong. It's not complete. It's not complete. It's not complete. But it's complete here. It's complete here. So they're telling him that he don't know what the hell he's talking about. Okay? In the same way, Islam reveres the biblical prophets from Abraham to Christ, contending only that Muhammad was the last and greatest, the seed of the prophets. Denying the divinity of Christ, Islam has also repudiated attempts to deify Muhammad, who insisted he was but a chosen man to be the spokesman of the Lord. Now, Muhammad, when you understand the concept of this garbage, Muhammad came down, he said the angel Gabriel, he went up in the mountains, and the angel Gabriel came down, one of the archangels. So an archangel is going to come down from the Lord, one of the 7, and set up a bunch of lies. That's not scriptorial. That's not scriptorial. At Muhammad's birth, 570 AD, Mecca was a prosperous transfer point on the ancient spice route between India and Syria. It was also a religious center to which the pagan Arab tribes, see that, pagans. So these are the heathens that you glorify. You sing rap songs, you hear Beyonce and all these crap heads singing rap songs, Hamdulillah, or whatever garbage they were singing last year, using Muslim tracks and so forth like that. That has nothing to do with the word of the Lord. Okay? These people are pagans, and the Bible is telling you that. Pagan tribes made pilgrimages to worship at the city's numerous shrines. Of these, the most revered was a rectangular edifice called the Kaaba, or cube. Now, a Kaaba containing various idols, and in one corner a black meteorite, which is a stone that streaked out of the heavens one night in the forgotten past. Wait a minute, a meteorite is a stone, right? Hold on, these people, through Muhammad, let's go back into the Bible now. You say you believe the Bible, then let's see. Exodus 20, this is the word of the Lord that they said is incomplete, right? Let's go to the 10 Commandments. Thou shalt have no other gods before me, first commandment. But they got other gods. Second commandment, thou shalt not make unto thee any graven images or any likeness of anything that is in heaven or that is in the earth beneath or that is in the water under the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself unto them nor serve them. Wait a minute. 3 commandments that they said the word of the Lord is incomplete, but yet they break those commandments every day. Bang. They break the word of the Lord every day. And this is who you black people bow down to, thinking that somehow this has got something to do with the word of the Lord. That's the Kaaba. That's the Kaaba stone, cube stone. Now look, I'm going to bring you a next piece of it. This is who you bow down to. This is why the Lord said, for my people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. So when you're dealing with the Nation of Islam and Farrakhan, and you think that they so great, they're a piece of garbage, man. Straight up. Piece of garbage teaching you lies. When you going to wake up out of sleep? See that? See that cube right there? They bow and they kiss that. They bow and they kiss that. That's why it's shining. Look at them, man. These people are going to be destroyed. These people are going to be destroyed. You think not? Let's go 2 Ezra 8, verse 1. He answered me, saying, the Most High made this world for the many. See that? This world is for the many. But the world to come for the few. Third verse. There be many created. There's billions of people upon this planet. Billions of people upon this planet. There be many created, but few shall be saved. Not them. 2 Ezra, the 9th chapter and the 22nd verse. Let the multitude perish then, which was born in vain. So they are born in what? In vain, man. Look at them. Worshiping false gods. They are born in vain. They are born in vain, man. Let the multitude perish. He not coming to ask these people. You already disavowed his son. You already disavowed his son. You already disavowed him. You already told him his commandments, which he gave, is garbage. And you said you've got a greater way and you worshiping rocks and stones. He said, let the multitude perish then, perish, which was born in vain, and let my grape be kept. You know who the grape is? Israel. And my plant, for with great labor have I made it perfect. See that? The Lord is making us perfect, man. So just letting you know, you keep venerating these people like they something, like they know something more than you. They don't know nothing. And of these, the most revered was a rectangular edifice called the Kaaba, cube, containing out of the heavens. Muhammad was born in a reputable family of the Quraysh, the dominant tribe in Mecca. So I'm giving you the history of the garbage philosophy and its beginning of that nation who are not the chosen people of the Lord. In youth, he had ample opportunity to observe current religious practices, for the Quraysh were custodians of the Kaaba and concessionaries to the pilgrims who came to visit the shrines. See that? So idolatry, worshiping idolatry. He early developed a distaste for the idolatry of the Bedouin and at the same time acquired a growing taste for Jewish and Christian monotheism. Mono meaning one God. Theism dealing with God. Mono meaning one God. So he was going back to Israel because Jews is Israel. Christianity is the Israelites who were following Christ. That's where that concept comes from. Let me show you that. Let's go into the book of Acts, the 10th chapter, so you can be clear. Acts, the 10th or 11th chapter. Show you where Christianity comes from. People out here lying, man. Let's go to Acts, the 11th chapter. Where does Christianity come from? Not Roman Catholicism, which I'm going to do whole classes on Roman Catholicism, so you can see the lies that we was taught in slavery under our slave masters that you're still teaching your kids to this very day. Acts, the 11th chapter, the 25th and 26th verse. Then departed Barnabas, a black man, to Tarsus for to seek Saul, another Israelite. Okay? And when he had found him, he brought him into Antioch. And it came to pass a whole year that they assembled themselves with the church and taught much people. Now the church is no more than a group of people gathered together in a house, in a room, on the street, or whatever. That's a group, a grouping, a church. And the disciples were called Christians first at Antioch. The disciples is who? The Israelites that followed Christ. Paul became a disciple. He was chosen. That's why he wrote so many books in the New Testament. Paul was chosen. How do we know that? Let's go to Acts verse 26. Okay? Acts verse 26. Paul was chosen by the Most High. Acts verse 26. Verse 12. I'm going to start at 12. Wherefore I went up with Damascus, this is Paul speaking, because they had arrested him with authority and commission from the high priest. At midday, O king, I saw a light from the heaven above the brightness of the sun, shining around about me and them that journeyed with me. And when we all fallen to the ground, I heard a voice speaking with me, saying in the Hebrew tongue. So in heaven, the angels were speaking to Paul in Hebrew, in the ships, saying, Saul, Saul, why kickest and persecutest thou me? It is hard for thee to kick against the pricks. And I said, Who art thou, Lord? He said, I am the Savior whom thou persecutest. But rise and stand upon thy feet, for I have appeared unto thee for this purpose, to make thee a minister and a witness both of these things which thou hast seen, and of those things in which I will appear unto thee, delivering thee from the people and from the Gentiles unto whom I now send thee, to open their eyes and to turn them from darkness to light. So what is Islam? Darkness. The word of Christ is the light. Okay? What is Islam? Darkness. What is all these religions? Darkness. So you got to see, are you sleeping or are you awake? To open their eyes from darkness to light, from the power of Satan, because Islam came from Satan through his male messengers. Okay? From the power of Satan unto the Lord, that they may see forgiveness of sins. So there it is, Paul was chosen. Okay? Breaking down some more again the history so you can understand. Okay? Of sensitive and contemplative disposition, Muhammad often wandered into the hills to meditate, sometimes for days at a time. One night, the archangel Gabriel, appeared to him in a vision and cried, recite. So this is what they teach, that somehow the angel Gabriel, who's one of the seven, these are righteous angels, came down and said what? Recite. Recite what? That he was given the word. That he was given the word. So now they push this madness. Okay? But let's see what the Bible has to say about that. Once again, let's see what the Bible has to say. Let's go to the book of Hosea. Let's go to the book of Hosea. No, let's go to the book of Amos. Let's go to the book of Amos. Let's cancel Islam and the Arab lie that the angel Gabriel came down and told them this. Okay? This is Amos, the 3rd chapter, the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd verse. Hear this word that I've spoken against you, O children of Israel, against the whole family, against the 12 tribes. He's not talking to nobody else, which I have brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, you only, the nation of Israel, only have I known of all the families of the earth. What the hell are they talking about? Wait, they said that the angel Gabriel came down to speak to Muhammad. Wait. Now, in the book of Amos, it is very clear, you only have I known of all the families of the earth. Wait, aren't the Arabs a family? Yes, they are. So the Lord is disallowing them that he never knew them. Therefore I will punish you for all your iniquities. Can two walk together except they agree? So the Lord never agreed with them on anything, He said that they're the heathen. So they came up and, Muhammad began to push this, right? So now you're getting the history of this concept and the philosophy behind it. Overwhelmed at first with awe and terror, he became convinced, as other visions followed, that he was indeed the prophet of Allah, the true and only God. Okay, now what did the Lord say about that? Is there other gods with the Father? Let's go into Isaiah. These people lie. Let's go into the book of Job also. Let's go into the book of Job first. Let's show you that these people lie. And all man do is lie. Lie and lie. Set up his religions and lies. Let's go into the book of Job, 21 verse 34. How then comfort ye me in vain, seeing in your answers in Islam there remain falsehood? In the Quran, there is nothing but falsehood inside of it. How can you, if you go into this garbage book, what knowledge are you going to find in it about anything? About the creation of the world? About evolution? Where did the stars come from? Who created all things? Nothing. Believe me, I've read this book. Nothing is in here. And I don't care, man. I break stuff down to the point. How you take it is how you want to take it. I break stuff down to the point, man. Let's go to another verse. In the book of Job, give me 1 minute here. I'm trying to find this verse. Let's go to Job 13, verse 4. What did the Lord say? But ye are forgers of lies. See what they did? They forged lies. But where did these lies come from? See, we interlacing the Bible with the history. Where did this lie that Gabriel did this? Okay? The devil got his demons. When you go to Revelation 12, verse 9, let me go to Revelation 12, verse 9. It says, you are all forgers of lies. See that? So Muhammad forged lies. And you are physicians of no value. So when you're in your religions and so forth like that, you're like a physician, and all these people is coming to you, and they have no value. They have no value. But everything has a beginning. Let's go to Revelation 12, verse 9. Let's go to Revelation 12, verse 9. And the great dragon was cast out. That's the devil. That old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. How did he deceive the whole world? Through men. He deceived the whole world through who? Through men with their philosophies. So if you want to understand that, let's go into the book of 1 Corinthians. Let's go in the book of 1 Corinthians and show you how he deceived the whole world. 2 Corinthians, the 11th chapter. Let's see how he deceived the whole world and who he used. For such a false apostles. See that? These people are false apostles, man. Deceitful workers transforming themselves into the apostles of Christ. And no marvel, for Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light. So when Satan came down, he transformed himself and said that he was the angel Gabriel. Talking to this dude, this pagan to this heathen. So this heathen was like, yeah, man, you sound good. Therefore, it is no great thing if it's ministers. So now this cat became a minister for Satan, transformed as ministers of righteousness. So everything coming out of the Quran and Islam and being a Muslim, it sounds righteous if you ain't got no knowledge. If you ain't got no knowledge, sounds great. Whose end shall be according to their works. See that? Bang. Breaking it down, man, for you. Let's come back. His wife Khadijah, who was rich and handsome widow when she married Muhammad, 15 years her junior, was the first to believe in him and continue encouraging and supporting him. For a decade or more, revelations continued. So the devil keep coming down because the devil is at work now. Just like the devil lied to Eve, the devil is at work. He got another duck. He got another duck. And now the question is, are you a duck? Okay? So he coming down and supporting him for it, sometimes even without his will, as he stood entranced in the city door or besides the Kaaba, floods of rhythmic prose poured from his lips. Now, there's many people out here in demonic churches that be singing talking in tongues. I'm gonna break that down too. Talking in tongues and stuff, and all you get entranced in your demonic churches, and they twisting and forming. That's all demonic spirits. Okay. Outraged by his denunciation of the idols that attracted the pilgrim trade, the Meccan merchants heckled him and threatened his life. At length, in 622, Muhammad fled Mecca for the friendliest city of Yathrib, 220 miles to the north. The year of Hijriya flight is the year 1 of the Muslim calendar. So now, I remember when I was somehow attached to Islam back in the 70s and stuff like that. You know, I was used to hear about the Hijriya and all this madness and stuff like that. See, because I had no knowledge of this concept. I had no knowledge. Okay? So you got to have knowledge, man. You got to sit your behind down and study. You got to sit your behind down and study, man. You got to wake your behind up out of the sleep. Get the pros out of your eyes, man. Let's go into the book of Romans and see that. Okay? Romans 13, verse 11. And that knowing the time, now it is high time to awake out of sleep. You're sleeping, man. You see what these Arabs do. Yet you still kiss their behind. You go in their stores, my brother, Aki. These clowns don't like you. They never liked you. They were the ones that, if you go into the slave trade, I'm going to bring up some of the books on the slave trade, how they sold you to the African tribes, and the African tribes sold you to the so-called white man where you at now. You go in their stores, Aki, and yet they'll call you nigger with the quickness. They know who you are. They just taking your money. They will sleep with your daughters. Your daughters will sleep with them for anything, for money, for food. Okay? They don't have no problem because they're the pagan. They're the heathen. They have never loved you. But like all things and people going to use people for what it is. So the Lord said that knowing the time, what time? You got to wake up out your eyes, man. You should be seeing what's going down now. It is high time to awake out of sleep, for now is our salvation nearer than when we believe. The night is far spent, the day is at hand. Let us cast off the works of darkness. Darkness is what? When you can't see, when you in your mind and you clogged up. You got cobwebs. And let us put on The armor of light. What is light? Light is knowledge. Light is knowledge, man. The Bible has nothing to do with religion or religions, but yet it has everything to do with exposing them as concepts of man coming from the devil, which have nothing to do with the word of the Lord. Let's go back into the history of Islam. At Yathrib, which was later named Madinat Anib, city of the prophet, okay? So now they're saying that their city is the chosen people of God. But the Lord says no. The Lord says no. That city, Mecca, is not the chosen city of God. Okay? When you go to Revelation, the 21st chapter, it shows you Jerusalem, the bride, coming down from heaven. Go to it. Revelation, the 21st chapter, it's going to clearly tell you Jerusalem is coming down. Jerusalem is coming down. Okay? And it's going to come down in Jerusalem, not in Mecca. So he's saying that his city is the city of the prophet. Muhammad won quick success, much as a religious leader and governor of the city. A series of armed encounters between his supporters and the Meccans led to intercity war. See that? So once again, earlier, I said that they teach that Islam is a peaceful religion. It's a damn lie. Warfare. Okay? It ended in 1630 when Muhammad entered Mecca in triumph and destroyed the idols in the Kaaba and leaving only the black stone. In the next 2 years, he consolidated his position as prophet and ruler in Arabia. That his death in 1632 did not halt the impetus of the new faith, which was now ready to erupt into the unsuspecting outside world, which was the Mediterranean, all the way across to Africa, North Africa, into Morocco, all the way into Spain, all the way up into France, all the way up into Europe. The Arabs, who was called the Moors, the black Moors, when you hear the word black or Moor, black as a Moor, meaning night. Some people have that name Blackamoor and don't even know the meaning of that word. Black as a Moor. The Moors, which is another name that was attached to the Arabs were black people. They were not Israelites. They conquered the world from 700. Look at the time. Muhammad died. The Quran contains many legends. Okay, Muhammad's secretaries approved a committee of his followers and preserved thereafter as accepted canonical texts. The Quran contains many legends and traditions paralleling those of the Bible and pagan Arabia. Its teachings have been accepted as Muslims as the revealed word of the Lord and have provided the basis of the law of Islam. Its primary doctrines are simple: pure monotheism and the Last Judgment. Although the existence of a supreme monotheism deity, Allah had long been acknowledged by the Arabs. Muhammad emphasized Allah as the one and only true power. In Muslim eyes, the Christian doctrine of the Trinity is faintly polytheistic, undergirding the principles of oneness as a sole creator and sole judge of the doctrine. Now, in his concept of heaven, this is what he teaches, right? Far more than the Bible, the Quran is vivid and explicit, perhaps in metaphor about the delights of heaven and the terrors of hell. Wait, where in the Quran does it teach about this? The former featured by gardens, fountains, flowing wine, and lovely virgins. Wait, in the Quran, so they're saying when you go to heaven now, this is why they will kill themselves. That's why the Lord said, and he shall be a wild man in the hand of every man. So when you go to heaven, you're going to have all these virgins for you to have sex with. So that's nowhere in the Bible. Nowhere in the Bible. But now God done changed his mind. You're going to have orgies in heaven because you're going to have these virgins. Well, what are you going to do with the virgins? Look at them. See the madness? I'm going to bring that out. I'm going to bring that out. Look. We're going to go into the Quran knowledge. My time is closing down. We're going to go into the Quran and we're going to show that. So, it's cutting through, right? So I've given you this whole page. It's history. I'm going to continue some more. I'm going to go back to the Bible, the next part 2, closing out. I'm going to go back to the Bible and I'm going to show you who the Ishmaelites are in the Bible, what they have done, and what is going to happen to them, okay, with the return of Christ. So there it is. You got history. You got the beginning of the nation, the Arabs. Ishmael is the first child of Father Abraham, but he's not the chosen line. He's not the chosen seed. Okay. Father Isaac and then Jacob. So, you know, you gotta open your eyes, man. You gotta open your eyes. So hopefully this has done something for you. Let's go in the book of Ephesians. Let's go in the book of Ephesians, the first chapter. Ephesians, the first chapter, the 17th verse. That the Lord of our Father, Jesus Christ, the Father of glory, may give unto you the spirit of wisdom and revelation in the knowledge of him, the eyes of your understanding being enlightened. See that? That you may know what is the hope of his calling and what the riches of the glory of his inheritance in the saints. Open your eyes, man. Time is running down. You're getting the knowledge. That's why Christ said in Jeremiah 3:15, feed the sheep of the slaughter with knowledge and understanding. Peace.